Okay, Sunday, 8:24. Where are we? There's our fire.
We're in the middle of the ocean.
Uh-oh. They're dying? We're not in the middle of the ocean. Robert's going to go tend to the...
I've been having a little bit of a issue tonight with the phone.
You have? Hey, Stacy. Well, good evening, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm going to do a little wrap-up. Although I have, because we did not come live yesterday. But Friday, right before we went out, where were we going? We were going, hey, Stephen. We were going to meet friends for dinner Friday night, okay?
Yeah.
And, look, is it better? Yeah, show everyone now.
Stephen, good evening.
Okay, all right, okay. So, we went out to
Hope you're coming Tuesday.
a local restaurant, Grillera.
Dude.
And it was a really lovely evening. Our group of friends hasn't gotten together in a while. And the best surprise of all, for me, was that Heidi baked the cake.
Yeah.
And
with chocolate, your
oh my God.
I think that's your favorite combination.
Yeah,
the yellow
white
cake,
yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Yeah, I think she knows that too. It was amazing.
It's like the Entenmann's
And then
combination.
they gifted me a massage, which I can't wait to use. So I'm really thankful for my friends. And I love birthdays and I love being sung to. And another reason I want you all to come Tuesday to kind of pop up because I love being with people and celebrating your special days and my special days.
I blow my nose.
So last night we celebrated our a friend of
Hey, Paul.
ours' birthday as well.
and Sheldon.
What is real? Hey,
All the
Sheldon.
Livingston boys are
Yeah,
on.
I'd like Sheldon and Sharon to come Tuesday too. They're localites. So we finished watching. So anyway, last night was really nice again, surrounded by some
Holly will
beautiful
start
people.
6 sentences, not
No,
finish
no,
one.
just finishing up the weekend. And then other than that, we've been doing some work
Yes,
also,
work.
which is fine
Right.
and
We did a
good. We
post
love what we
today.
do. And so, but what inspired me to talk about what we're going to talk about is there are 2 TV programs that we really like. But last night we finished up the series Mrs. Maisel. Actually, we finished it this morning,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Early this morning. But I was thinking about that, and I also thought about the Goldbergs. So I was thinking about both of those
Monty.
shows. And I will say that, well, in the Goldbergs, it's bleeped out. And in Mrs. Maisel, it's an Amazon
right, so it's
programming.
for an adult audience, and
and they do not bleep it out. And when I'm talking about the
Right,
bleeps,
public.
is swearing and cursing. So, believe it or not, Robert, scientists have actually said that people who swear and curse actually may even have a higher intelligence.
Really?
Yeah. Now, what is your opinion on cursing?
Hi, Chuck.
Oh, Chuck, actually, I've
Chuck,
been meaning to
you
reach
need
out
to
to you.
come.
Your daughter, we're having a yoga thing Tuesday night, and your daughter would probably love it.
CBD yoga.
Yeah. So let's connect.
So get in touch
Later tomorrow. We'll tell you, and you should come too. But anyway, sorry for the
all the side conversations.
right. So go ahead. What are your thoughts about swearing and cursing?
I don't give a shit. What do I think about it? I think it's has a time and a place.
So
I think cursing is very effective at times, but cursing has been controversial, forever.
well, first of all,
right?
did you know that the word
George Carlin, the 7 words you can't say on TV?
right? That's right, a comedian, and actually, like Mrs. Maisel, she really. I mean, no, but
Right,
just in her
because
own, it's crazy. So much cursing.
The censors, right? They used to be, I believe, on live programming, there would be a censor in the booth, in the control room, with the button, they'd hit, right? The
without a doubt.
button.
So, do you know what the oldest rude word is? The oldest rude word. So, not necessarily
Rude?
a swear or a
swear
curse
word?
word. It was in 1250.
I couldn't even venture.
Fart.
Fart?
Fart.
Was the first?
No, rude word. Rude word.
Rude
but listen to this.
word.
What the source of...
With the same meaning as it has today?
I don't think so. and I didn't dig deeper there. But I'm just saying is if you want to look that up, I thought it was interesting.
Yes.
Right?
Right. Still is a button.
Right. So wait, the source
The
of
leaf
FUC, the word of F,
The F word.
Okay. First of all, initially did mean to reproduce.
Correct.
Okay. Because
Which is
what
the
does it
way
stand for? What does it stand for? Do you know?
Is it an acronym?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fornicate.
Yes.
Under
Yes.
covers.
Commands of the king. It was a king. It was
Fornicate
a
under the command of the
king.
king. Wow.
I like that. Wait. So it took 300 years transition, okay, to go from he after to that's effing awesome.
Wow.
Because that's really the
Mark,
interpretation,
Chelsea.
right? Right?
I never knew that. That
So
is.
okay,
that
I
is
love when you
new
learn
to
something.
me.
Now wait a second. So like you just said, that it can actually first of all, when it first came on, okay, and it was the first
Is it in the dictionary?
it was like 15th century, to the 13th century.
Is it in Webster's?
Actually, the oldest word, but not with abusive intent, was the word.
The S word.
Shit. Okay?
To definitely.
I don't like it. I have to tell you something.
What's your favorite curse word? Doesn't what's his name?
I probably am.
Lipton. James Lipton. In Inside the Actors Studio.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
his
That's
favorite.
one of his
That's one of his
questions.
questions.
I love that's brilliant.
What's your favorite curse
So
word?
talking, because you know what? And he's brilliant. So you know something? And usually his guests are pretty darn smart. They may be theater, junkies and very talented.
We met him
Celebrities?
once.
We did.
It was a wedding thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
was
we
a
were
wedding
there was
event.
a J. Crew. We were upstairs. I think we were in the Upper East Side and with J. Crew, and I think it was something with Darcy Miller.
Yeah, it was
from,
in like
from,
a penthouse something.
Yeah, it was upstairs.
Like in a
and he was
suite.
sitting there. We didn't
Yeah.
take a photo with him, which I usually do. Okay, so originally when these words came,
I think that was before like Instagram.
it was not literal like I am, right? So it was not necessarily to insult and offend others, okay? But get this, I read a Huffington Post article, okay, that actually people who swear may be happier, healthier, and more honest. And what I think, and they're also saying, honest meaning higher levels of integrity. So I thought that this was interesting. It said it could have, it could relieve pain. So it could have a soothing effect, just getting it out and saying that, right? Okay, so these are the good things.
We were supposed to talk about that too.
Okay, we're going to express extremes of emotion, right? So it can also offer you a sense of calm. It can help improve.
So it's an exclamation, right? You exclaim this.
Well, yeah,
right?
usually, right? Usually, you don't just say,
Well, I mean, I
Usually
what's your
it's
favorite
with-
curse word?
I said F.
Okay.
Okay,
But you
there's,
can use it as an exclamation.
but the extremes of emotion
Or-
could be negative or positive.
What's up, creature?
What I'm saying is, like, you could say to someone, get off my case. I can't stand you. Get out of my way, and that's a release, right?
Right.
Or you could say, wow, that is so effing awesome. That is amazing, right? But why do you have to say the F word? Like, but, right? But so,
Yeah, no, I use the F word as an exclamation quite often, both in
but
pain
negative
and
and
in pleasure.
positive. Exactly.
Right.
But the thing is, I also think I'm sorry, most of it's making an excuse for saying that it's okay. I don't care. I really.
Well, what about Gary V,
Well, okay, so get this.
who breathes curse words?
Well, that's right. Yeah, I don't think lately I've heard as many.
No.
Do you know that? So it's a
People are giving him shit.
But actually, scientists say it's a habit linked with a higher IQ. Okay, but the thing is, for the most part, I think swear words were obscene and taboo. Hence the bleep.
Well, you talk about guys like Lenny Bruce.
On Mrs. Maisel.
who were actually arrested because of their blue,
Because of
working blue.
Right.
In comedy, when you cursed a lot, it was called, you would work blue when you cursed a lot.
What does work blue mean?
Working blue
What does that mean?
means when you cursed a lot.
What does working blue
Like
mean?
blue, like you're a comic that works blue. you curse a lot
I don't know.
in your act.
What does work blue mean?
Working, you're working. I'm a working comic, and when I work blue, meaning I curse. That's an expression.
I never heard that, Robert.
There
so
you go. You
okay.
learned something new now.
No, because
tonight.
you're saying it actually with disgust.
When
Like
a
I don't know what that
comedian-
means.
You don't. When a comedian,
How annoying can someone be?
When
Do you feel like cursing now?
when a comedian works blue, it means they curse when they work.
Okay, so what I have to say is that I do think sometimes
You're a pain in the ass.
it's a negative, which means sometimes people, the other way to look at it, okay, is when the person who says it lacks vocabulary, okay, and can't express themselves in a less offensive way. So there are some people that just are always cursing. But you know what? We are human beings with a brain, and we have the opportunity to think before we speak and not say such words should you not want to. But you know what? There are some people that think it's A-okay. And that's why I found it fascinating as I'm watching Mrs. Maisel that I mean, there is so much cursing. And I'm thinking, is it New York? Is it Jewish? Because Goldberg's also was Jewish, and I'm thinking, that's not fair. It's ridiculous.
Did you ever watch The Sopranos?
No. I don't remember. Was there as much cursing?
Of course.
Probably. All right. Well, listen to me. So do you have anything else you want to say? Well, I'd like to know what you all think about cursing. If you think it's good or bad. Your children are listening. They're watching. If you curse, because I'll tell you, that's come back to me. Carlos says, I don't curse. I nearly kill people who have
People
cursed in
don't-
front of my
people
child.
don't know
well,
how
but
to-
that's the other
people
thing.
don't-
But
they
some
don't-
people rather curse than kill someone else.
Yeah, but they don't, people don't know when it's appropriate
It's
or
offensive.
when
it
it
is
can be
it can
appropriate and when it
offensive.
can't be appropriate.
That's good.
You know?
And I agree with you 100%, Carlos, because
Like
again,
even in places like you're out in public and the way people are talking out in public,
it's just
you're like,
it's so disgusting.
like, really? I mean,
that how
there are
you talk
women
to
here,
each
there
other?
are children here.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's what I'm saying. It's not okay. It's an excuse if
no,
you
of
think
course,
it's okay.
of course. Listen, if it slips out,
Amy.
all right, in the course of a conversation or something like that, right? Or if you're exclaiming it because something, you're hammering and you bang your thumb and
I agree, Carlos. How do they not know? Okay.
Because it's a
It's
level
become
of
common. But listen, it's not on the level of intelligence. It's also if you were brought up with that, it is a natural part of your language. I think that we have a choice how we want to speak, and it sounds crass. Most
my
often, my mother yells at me.
Talk to
you don't like
both
it.
Lindsay and Alex.
It's our
if
fault,
they curse.
but it's our fault.
Oh, but come on.
Okay, it's
they're,
my
They're
fault.
old
You know what?
enough to
I think you can
understand
say
when
it's
it's
my fault.
appropriate and not appropriate.
There is some times that I really keep it in my head. There really are. He does not believe that I keep a lot of things in my head, but there are times when they spent nearly 20 years in school. You know what? It's not school.
If they paid attention.
They don't talk about not cursing in school.
No, there was something.
That's the home. It's not school. It's the home environment.
They don't discipline in school anymore.
That's correct.
They don't discipline.
That
They're not
is
allowed
correct.
to discipline.
That is correct.
They'd probably get in trouble if they corrected or reprimanded a kid because they were cursing.
You're right.
Their parent
Wait
would
a
probably
second.
come in and
we saw
defend
something.
them.
I'm not going to reveal who this was, okay? You're going to know who it is, okay? We have seen a lot of youth's posts on Facebook, primarily on Instagram,
Well,
where it is very unsavory, the way they even... It is part of their language, Robert. They are writing words. It's ridiculous.
right, you shouldn't. It's
It's
offensive.
Okay, you now see. I'm very literal, Carlos. So that's really you're playing with me now, right?
No, it's people that just I don't know. It's a lot of it is upbringing. If you're not on top of your kids and you
my
make
mother does
sure
not
that
like
they,
it, and I got to tell you something. That it is really you do need to know your audience.
well,
you need to
wouldn't
know your
necessarily-
audience.
Listen, if you had
It becomes
if you
a
had to
habit.
describe
Bad habit.
someone who curses all the time, you wouldn't necessarily use the adjective classy.
I just said classless.
Right.
I think it's classless.
Right.
Okay. So I have to tell you, we're all beings that need to improve. And those are one of those things that if you just think about it right now, do you curse too much? If you don't curse at all, kudos to you. If you're saying something's effing awesome,
Ira.
okay, but really, can't you just say, it's awesome! It is fantastic! It is amazing!
I do try to.
Hey, Laura, congratulations! Her daughter got engaged. 'Tis the
Yeah,
season.
this is like
Woohoo!
enough already.
Love it. So exciting.
Rich.
So,
Rich just came on.
hi, Michael. Okay, so Robert and I, this is really crazy because our family's kind of been in the paper for the past few weeks. Remember? Well, we
have an
were
ego
first we were in
problem.
an article about what we said at a town council
Right.
meeting or planning
It
board
was
meeting.
reported on.
Right? Then Jeff was inspired to write, well, he's not our family member, but he wrote,
He wrote a
a
letter
letter to
to
the
the
editor.
editor.
And our daughter's engagement announcement was in the paper.
I could have put his letter up too.
You can still. I'll send
I
it
could
to you.
add his letter.
Yes. Actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to add Jeff's letter.
Oh,
So,
because I didn't even tag Jeff in that post.
oh my, right. You have to do
I gotta
that.
tag him.
Sorry, Jeff, if you're watching. But we just figured out. See, that's what happens. We want to tag everybody who was responsible for helping, okay, the ordinance against cannabis in Livingston to be banned. So Robert and I and Nancy Diner in this week's edition. Nancy Diner is the former editor of the West Essex Tribune, our local community newspaper. Believe it or not, newspaper.
Did you
This
see that
newspaper
car that drove through the
is-
cleaners.
is like people look forward to getting this every Thursday. I get it now online in my inbox
Right. This is the only physical newspaper
that we
I
get in
read.
this house. So Robert had a letter, I had a letter, because even though we're a couple here and we come to you very often as a couple, we still have a both individual approach. I will tell you, I am going to let you all know that Jessie Gill helped me shape, okay, pretty much word for word, the guidance and input of how to address this.
Right.
Because she has more experience as a patient, an advocate, and as a professional.
Okay, so
if you're not
let me go
local-
read it. So Holly's letter was up top,
Let your
right?
voice
Let
be
your
heard.
voice be heard, and then Nancy's was right below that.
She's a regular column in the paper.
Nancy's notebook, right?
The
And
year
then
she has
my letter was
As you can notice, the women are first.
there. Where was mine?
It's the next page.
Oh, I'm on the bottom. I'm below the.
You're
fold.
no, you're on the next
No, no.
page. Just turn it over.
Is it?
Turn it
My whole
over.
letter is there? No, my letter starts here, babe. Say
Oh,
no to
I'm sorry.
cannabis
I'm
ban.
sorry.
I thought it was on
It
the
was
fold.
right in the middle.
Say no to the cannabis ban. Okay, so that was my letter that they published.
Yeah,
And then so
I like the
that
smell,
came out
Carlos.
that came out Thursday. That came out Thursday,
terpenes, baby.
right? That came out Thursday. And then Friday I went with our mayor, Al Anthony, who was the second person to take me up on my offer to go to an alternative treatment center. And we chose Harmony. And I want to thank Nico, who's the manager over at Harmony, for taking the time on an incredibly busy Friday morning. So we got there about 10:30. The dispensary opens at 9, so it had been open 90 minutes or so at that point. There were over 100 people waiting there. Over 100. I had never seen it that
And
busy.
he gave you
And
an extra.
So normally you can go in with a companion, a friend, into the waiting room, okay? And then when they call your name, one of the bud tenders escorts you into the dispensary side, which is just separated by a glass door. You can look in and see what's going on. You just can't go into the dispensary area unless you're a patient.
I did that with you.
Or
once.
you have special
I
clearance.
went with you once.
But you stayed in the
I
waiting room.
stayed in the waiting
Yeah.
room. Yeah. I don't have a card.
So Al Anthony, our mayor, gave his ID and everything, and he got cleared to go into the dispensary area. And Nico continued to show us around, and then, which I had never been, brought us into the back, showed us the inventory room.
Shane wasn't there.
Oh, I don't know. And then we saw where the employees go through the airlock into the grow area and the trim area. You have to wear special clothing. You have to get, hey Deborah, you have to get an air wash, right? Because they're very careful about contaminants that go especially into the grow area. So we went back there, and in part because it was just such bedlam out in the dispensary that we did that. So in a way, it was really
Organized
good.
them.
Oh, it was great. I mean, they have 4 registers going. And the thing is, right? So imagine if you walked into your local pharmacy, a Walgreens or a CVS. Hey, Steve, you need to come on Tuesday night to Caldwell. So imagine going into Walgreens to go pick up your prescription, right? And seeing 100 people ahead of you in
Not
line.
3, 4, or 5.
100 people ahead of you in line. What would you do?
Depends on what the rest of your day
You'd
was.
call the police, first of all. You'd say, hey, what's going on? There would be chaos. People would
if
be
you-
at
right,
each other's throats.
I'm thinking about going
okay?
there with 100 people.
This place was packed to the walls.
And everyone's patient.
Everyone was cool.
The patients are
Nobody was
No cursing?
arguing. Nobody was complaining. Why is this taking so long? Everybody's talking to everybody else. It's unbelievable. And it's unbelievable that 60,000 patients are serviced by 6 ATCs. 60,000 patients are serviced by 6 ATCs.
Okay, so with that said, we want to thank our town council because...
Absolutely.
Because...
Because they have decided to pull this ordinance
on this.
before voting. So they're not going to vote on this ordinance. They're going to pull
Against
it
cannabis.
against cannabis. So right now everything is status
That's what
quo.
we were told. And we're going tomorrow night just in case.
We're going just in case.
Any changes have transpired.
I don't expect that would be the case.
Me
But we
neither.
want to go to thank them for doing this. And then in
Understanding and
2020...
listening, being heard.
to convene a real town hall meeting with a proper discussion with
So everyone could hear
professionals
and everyone
that
could
can
share their perspective of their
Exactly.
of their feelings, of their concerns, of their questions.
So that we
Those are
approach
kind
this
of
the
things-
right way.
Right. So that is what's key. But you know what felt the best, Robert, okay, is that
when you did that thing. Oh,
Yeah.
that. Okay.
effing. See, he's got one effing
Go
on
ahead.
his mind.
Go ahead.
Fornicating under the command of the king. I bow to you. So
I'm psyched. I'm getting a shirt that says that.
Right, F-U-C-K.
Fornicating under the command of the king.
Yeah, but isn't that cool that you know that now?
You know what? You made my day.
I think it's kind of cool. Under the command of the king. So, no, because he was concerned there wouldn't be enough reproduction. It was like a
Okay.
command. Yeah,
Oh,
real.
really?
Yeah.
Like you got to force people to fornicate?
Wait a second. That was even on Mrs. Maisel too. One of the opening scenes of the last episode. Sorry if hey Adam, if I'm screwing
Spoiler
anything
alert.
up for you, but not you, Adam, but everyone watching. No, at the beginning, they kind of did a flashback before they had kids when she said that they're going to be pregnant.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
And he
there
kept
for a
saying,
minute.
"Oh,
They
I
were
don't
time
mind.
shifting.
We could practice doing that all day long. It's really even a little risque, you know,
Right.
about things.
Yeah, well.
Gay issues, marital issues. That's why. This is why I thought of the topic with the cursing because I thought, oh, right? Didn't I say that too? This on the bed, on the couch. The bed. You see, I'm in the wrong room. I said, has cursing always been around? Have people like divorced and fooling around and wanting to have sex and right and just or women, also with the Apollo Theater and there was so much going on in the 60s, and yet they do it. It's like part of the program, the series. But anyways, what's really cool, what I didn't finish saying, is that it feels really good to speak up and to have a position on something, to question something, and to actually have resulted, I think, in a victory. And I think it's distinctive. It happened. It's
Feels
like
good. It feels good
we
when
said
the
something.
process works.
Do it. I'm
When the
encouraging
process works.
everybody in their township because too many towns, this is just happening and nobody's saying anything.
So we want to, again, thank all of the members of our town council, members of the planning board who had the good sense to hold
to
on.
reserve judgment.
Let's just hold on here.
And thank you to all of the other people. I'm going to mention them here, okay? So our friend Jeff Sternstein and Justin Alpert and Sasha, I don't know everyone's last name, and
Sasha
Scott
Koff.
Goldman, Sasha Koff, Scott Goldman, Hugh Giordano from the Union
Yes.
came and spoke.
Yep.
Jason Thomas, a good friend and advocate
Right.
and professional in this space.
John Entrada
from
had
Springfield.
come and
Oh, that's
support.
correct. Oh, did you right? John
Right.
Entrada.
Yeah.
Faha was there. Look at Deborah. I love it. I love it, Deborah. You have such a great approach to living and life.
You got a
I
good
love
husband
you.
there. That's.
I
what you
love.
got.
I just love how they have such a great thing going on. I want to thank. Wait a second. So I want to thank you, of course, and I do want to thank a big thank you to Nancy Diner,
Yeah.
who also has a home in Colorado and understands a little bit more about this. I think even probably more than many other people
Right.
because of it exists in Colorado.
And the one thing I wanted to just bring up, and this came up in conversation with Nancy Diner had brought it up in her letter,
In her column.
her column,
Nancy's notebook.
Nancy's notebook, and we had talked about this also about the fact that in addition, the township council is still not in favor of recreational cannabis, right? For whatever reason, there's still
And we wanna
no one
understand why.
no one gave me a reason why, like why, like
Well, it's
will
probably
it-
the kids. It's
but-
the kids.
whatever, but right. So
Should be
again,
freedom.
now Holly, keep in mind, right? So
What?
let's assume
Like versus
that
alcohol?
cannabis is legal,
Right.
Recreationally legal,
Right.
Okay, 18 months from where we sit right now,
Right.
okay. To ban that from a community,
Mm-hmm.
right, without banning alcohol would be wrong,
Mm-hmm. But-
because now both things are legal,
But
right? Nobody goes and gets alcohol and consumes it without the intention of getting some level of intoxication. End of story. People don't drink alcohol just because they like the way it tastes.
no, they want to forget about life for a while.
They want to get a buzz.
Yeah.
Okay? How much of a buzz is up to them. Okay?
I think they want to escape.
But it's legal. There's no law that says how much you can drink. You can't drink and drive.
you can mix.
But
you
you
can
can
mix,
sit
you
in
can
your
mix every
house.
alcohol.
You can sit in your house
Drink-
or go to a bar and drink
And
yourself
there are
into
a lot,
oblivion.
and poo. There are a lot of
Okay.
people that are suffering,
Okay?
right? That are-
Totally legal.
that are-
So let me
And that's
let me
another
put
addiction.
it out there
It's addiction.
to my good council members to tell me what it is that we are fearing from recreational cannabis, right? Let's talk about that.
Right.
And not having that same fear of beer and wine and
I think I know what the
liquor
answer
and
is
all
in
of
the
that.
short term, and I don't feel like saying, I don't want to presume anything,
Okay.
but I do believe, I think it's the stigma, honey. I really do. I think that this,
I guess,
I'm
but
just,
listen,
I mean,
you'll never, if you put 6 drunk guys together in a room, good chance
What about
that
fraternity
you're going to
brothers?
get into a fight of some kind,
and
right?
guess what? There's going to be expletives.
You put 6
Just
guys in a room that
Not good.
just smoked a couple of joints,
It's going to be so chill.
pre-rolls,
You're going to fall asleep.
they'll be hanging out. They'll be best friends. They'll all be best friends. Okay? So, let's take a
But
deep inhale.
Someone who enjoys a glass of wine could also enjoy
Let's take a deep
a little bit of an
inhale,
inhale
and hold it
of something.
and then exhale.
and savor it
and
and go from
let's
there.
take it one step at a time.
One conversation
One
at
conversation at a time. Let's not put the cart in front of the horse,
a time.
as
But you
they
all
say.
need to speak up or at least ask the questions. That's all. Ask the questions, and that's how we'll be able to provide the most value. Is by getting the answers from people that you trust, that you respect, that you know is going to guide you in the best possible way, that makes sense. But it has to jive with your principles. It has to jive with your health. It has to jive with your with what you really do believe is going to alter your state. mentally, physically, or emotionally. So the thing is, there's a lot of, I have a very, very, very addictive personality. So I have said no to many, many things because I know that I would like it. So you really, everything in moderation, people, okay? And also, again, we need to be role models for our children all the time, at all ages, okay? But the thing is, we need to have those conversations also, because especially if you are a child of a parent that is a medical marijuana patient, they should understand that that is legal. They should
understand that it's medicine and that it's not for them to take. And it's just like...
It should be safely put
just
somewhere.
Just like Tylenol
should not
and
just
Advil
be in the cabinet.
should not be accessible.
And nor should the liquor.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
We need to be
my Bayonne friend.
We need to be parents, and we need to make sure that our children understand the dangers.
So we're going to talk more about that, because I think that parents are kind of on the fence, like they just don't know how to be, especially if they do enjoy the plant legally. So, Peter, enjoy. He's off to Native Roots in Denver, so I'm sure.
Oh, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Take a big deep breath for me.
And me. And everybody else that just came on, please feel free to watch and replay. Feel free to share this with others.
And Tuesday,
we're going to continue to invite you to celebrate
with
us, because we have some amazing brands.
Caldwell Flowerland.
In
Flower Shop.
In Caldwell.
Flower Shop by day. Event space by night.
The Canna Pop-Up.
And that's where Canna Pop-Up.
It would really mean a lot to us, because not only are we proud of all the people that we bring together in this room, but it is extra magical when you're there. And you'll see why. We continue to ask our attendees and our sponsors why they feel that this is a great opportunity and experience to be together, to educate and about their products, their services, and it's also just about having a good time.
And listen, you can get CBD products just about anywhere.
Yeah, but don't.
You do not have the opportunity to talk to the formulators, to talk to the people that go to the farms, that see, hey, Jenny,
I texted you, Jenny.
We were talking about you today.
I want to see you Tuesday, you and Doug.
We were talking about you today,
Miss
Jenny.
you. Yes. We love you.
And it's the only time that you're going to get up close and personal with these brands. Ask the questions.
And they've told us that. The attendants have told us they prefer to purchase in person.
It's not like going to the store.
Stock up. Stock up and save.
You're going to talk to a salesperson who's going to talk to you about moving the product that they need to move, just like every other store. Don't kid yourself.
Well, let's just tell everybody a quick story, okay, just about Ish. Like what we saw today. And let's end on that, because you asked somebody their story, okay? Mm-hmm. Nobody asked. No, just tell everyone about...
No, we were at a craft fair at the Morristown Armory, and...
there was only one brand that really stood out.
There were a couple of food vendors that were there.
Right. And a few we've seen. But this one is actually
so this was
wanted to continue her father's legacy.
A company that makes horseradish. You should get the jar.
We'll show it to you tomorrow.
And her brand is called Ish. And there's 4 or 5 different horseradish.
One is garlic, ginger,
one
citrus,
is a traditional beet
red.
Yep. Ginger, a citrus.
Woo! Did it go up my nose?
And a garlic.
Woo! It cleared all passages.
Fresh horseradish.
It's amazing. Hey, Janet.
And just really phenomenal.
So we bought it.
But we like the brand.
But she did.
And she
decided to launch it.
Took it.
So the past 6-7 years, this is what she's been doing. And I have to say, it was a cool thing to discover. And that's another reason to come to Canna Pop-Up. You discover, things that products and just delivery methods that you may not have even considered before. So now you're going to be enlightened. And I think that that's the best part about life.
Let us enlighten you.
Let us enlighten you. Have an amazing rest of your evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Okay, let me send you the PDF.